Hello and welcome back, my friends, my family. So glad you guys can be here today. Litecoin Lawton is in the house. I am doing great. I hope you guys are doing excellent out there. We have a major move coming in. TikTok, the little clock is coming out and it is going to pop, you guys. I love it when Bitcoin and cryptos wind up like this. It's like a coiled spring and it's going to release this energy, you guys. And you guys have to understand that, we know this move is coming. Nothing that has happened up until this point, and it is 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, nothing to this point is a move yet, you guys. And I love this space, you guys. I come to my channel, come to my this is my webpage, litecoinlawton.com. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. It really helps me out. I built this site just for, basic news. I would not trade charts and buy cryptos based on news, you guys. Be your own researcher. You start to learn charts, you start to get integrated with certain people in the space. This space is full of knowledge. When you go to seek it, it is also full of a lot of trolls and a lot of misleading information too. So, hone that beacon of truth, you guys. And let's look at what's going on in the world, you guys. I think the bullish thesis for Bitcoin to this day remains very strong, you guys. Even though we did drop below 29K very briefly this morning, you guys. I think, there's a lot of things in the pipeline right now with this ETF, and there's money flow, a lot of banking situations that are happening, you guys. PacWest, and I guess is going under too and got absorbed. I think you're going to see that continue. I think that you're going to see this financial crisis start to unfold. I think Bitcoin is going to be a welcomed player in this thing, and we have this option now, you guys. We have this option. We have this asset class in our generation. Like, if it wasn't here, then we would be screwed, right? Because we would be forced to be totally in the. I guess we had gold and silver, but that was the traditional hedge. But we have a new digital hedge, you guys, against debasement and censorship, and it's more fungible, you guys. Now the fungibility is the thing that Bitcoin needs to accelerate. So the US dollar is very fungible, and traditionally the most it's the tool for the most criminal activity, you guys. If you guys are going to be criminals, don't use cryptos, okay? Because everybody's tracking cryptos. If you want to, launder some money, go to the good old fashioned US dollar, right? And that's been, and people that bag on crypto and Bitcoin for, they still say that sometimes, you guys, and it's crazy. So this is brought to you guys by, Crypto Bull right here, you guys. I kind of think that this is what we're due for here. This kind of gives me that target above, as I say, this next cycle, you guys, I see Bitcoin between 150 and 350,000. And that's just kind of being conservative, you guys. I think this thing is going to start ramping up. This move we haven't seen yet, you guys. This is going to happen, okay? And the Bollinger Bands are getting ridiculously tight. So this thing's like a coiled spring. It's locked and loaded. We're ready to pop. It's the simplest thing I can explain. We know the move's coming. We try to guess on whether or not traders love these things, because we need a confirmation, you guys. So wait for confirmation before you get into a trade. This is actually a Litecoin chart, you guys, that I found. And this basically says that we just had Litecoin halving today. Happy Litecoin halving day, you guys. Charlie Lee, dude, we did it. Cheers to you. Litecoin halved, you guys. This is pretty amazing. I think that, traditionally we go flat though. So this yellow section is kind of like what happens traditionally after a Litecoin halving. So frustratingly enough, it's very possible we go sideways here for at least a year. Okay. I think that this is not necessarily the case. I think it might be shorter here. But traditionally this coincides to a Bitcoin halving, right? So what happens in this year? Well, Bitcoin goes through its halving right here. Okay. And this is usually gives us a pretty fat run. So what is it going to happen this time? We'll see. Again, we could have this little bit of a pullback, and that's kind of what we were seeing, you guys. going on, but let's just jump into the charts, okay? Because the charts are where you're going to find all the juicy information. I was looking at ETH. Let's look at the dollar real quick, you guys, because the dollar right now is having its little heyday right here. But I just want to point this out. So in the dollar, okay, we had this symmetrical triangle, okay, that we were tracking. And I turned off Lux Algo because it was a little bit too much right now. But I just basically wanted to show you guys. So we had this breakout, okay. And what we don't want to see for the dollar, okay, is this thing to break basically back in like what it did. It did break back in here. But I'd like to see if it holds right here and then kind of rips up. That's a deflationary kind of spike, you guys, and that's going to cause a lot of pressure in equities and risk on assets. So we'll see what happens on that situation. But I think that we are possibly getting rejected right here because these lines might not be perfectly drawn here. Let's see, it's like we could be having a rejection. Okay, so if we break back into this thing or break back out, this would be the best situation for and this is basically a false breakout too. So if this thing breaks back in here and then does something like this is actually a false breakout on the symmetrical triangle. Okay, it's a broken pattern and it's going to be come back in. And so that's like a really dirty dollar. So we'll keep an eye on a dollar. Okay, see if it pulls a reach around surprise on us right there. Okay, Bitcoin right there right now. We do have this line drawn, and shout out to Tyler S. Dude, I hope you guys subscribe to him. Crypto Zombie, shout out to you guys. Johnny Bravo, obviously, is one of my homies. So you guys, this thing is gonna. I think Bitcoin's retesting. Okay, so the lowest we can go here, and I'm gonna just go out to the daily because I want to show you guys where this 200 lines up here. Here's the blue line. Okay, this macro uptrend right now, and I really want to hold this. If we actually break down past this blue line, you guys, this is kind of a shorting opportunity. But right now we're above the 200, which is basically this white line right now. Okay, we just flashed a buy on Johnny Bravo. I will turn on Lux Algo here for you guys. And Lux us still on the sell. So we haven't had Johnny Bravo 9 has fired as a buy, but we haven't had that confirmation on Lux Algo or the MACD. Okay, because the MACD right now, this is on the daily. We can zoom in a tiny bit here, and we did have we just had a bearish crash on the 4-hour. Okay, so the weekly, what does the weekly have here? The weekly, we have a bearish crash as well. So the MACD is pointing towards bearish signs, which is not great because MACD on Bitcoin is a fairly a great indicator. I do think we still have like a little bit of I think we have this test of this maybe 200 or at least at the minimum this long-term trend line, probably at like the 28.2 level. I really want to see like 28.2 hold. Okay, let's call it 28,000 psychological. I want to see that hold. Okay, the move that's coming, you guys. So the move I'm talking about, okay, this is going to be like a $5,000 move. Okay, this is not no like little $800, $1,000 move. Okay, this is like going to be like at least like a $4,000 or $5,000 move here, guys. Probably, it's coming up like this week. I think it's going to happen this week. I might eat my words, but I think it's going to happen this week, you guys. This is how I'm preparing for the trade. I haven't entered in anything yet. I played a couple scalp trades on ETH the other day. So ETH got really oversold. I'll show you guys ETH real quick here. But I played this one right here. I played this buy yesterday. And I played, and then I got out like right here on the sell. Okay, and I took my profit, and then I lived to fight another day, right? I didn't take the sell right now because I do not like shorting Bitcoin, you guys. I have a thing with shorting Bitcoin above the 200 right now, and we are above the 200, so technically we are bullish, you guys. Let's go into the cipher, okay, on ETH. We have some negative divergences forming on the daily, okay? But we do have some bullish divergences on the cipher, on the 4 hour. Okay, so that's looking okay. Even if you zoom in, we have some bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Let's go back out to Bitcoin, you guys. On the cipher, on the daily, we have this like negative divergence, you guys, and we haven't had any positive cash flow here, since mid-July. Okay, so that's not super great. Litecoin, what is Litecoin doing on the cipher? See if we see anything. On the daily, we have some pretty strong bullish divergence, so that's good on Litecoin. Again, on the 4 hour, we're getting pretty strong bullish divergences too. I don't know how you guys like to trade. I like to start out on the bigger time frames and then kind of zoom in and get a kind of a broader perspective right now. But Litecoin's looking pretty juicy as far as a trade goes, you guys, right now. We just had this pullback here. At least on the 1 hour chart, you guys, like this is kind of, I'll show you guys kind of how I, start trading. On the 2 hour chart, we've had this strong sell. Okay. But what's going on? If you guys zoom out here, let's go out to the daily. I did want to show you guys this. So look at Litecoin. Okay. We had this symmetrical triangle. Okay. We just had the halving today. This is the halving day. So this is awesome. This line was the halving. Okay. And so we had the symmetrical triangle. We broke out initially. Now we back tested. Okay. And we're holding this. We're holding this as support, right? This line as support. So as long as it's not a busted pattern, just like the reverse of the DXY, okay? It's like the DXY, it's like the reverse of the DXY, okay? As long as we don't have a busted pattern, okay, then I am bullish on Litecoin right now, okay? Like I think that we are still on a positive trajectory here, okay? And we're fighting though, we are fighting because the 200-day EMA right here is right there, dude. Like we're like this is actually on the 180. So the 200, we're basically holding it right now. Okay, so we're back testing the 200 right now. And if we can hold this as for Litecoin, my Litecoin family, this is a longing opportunity. As long as we don't, pull back below that $87 Litecoin, you guys are going to look back in history and this is going to be like one of those times you're like, oh, I wish I could get some $87 Litecoin. Because I honestly believe, you guys, this thing's gonna take off. Okay, and some more technicals from TradingView. On the daily, we have 1 sell, 9 neutral, 1 buy. 15 sell, 10 neutral, 1 buy. It's very selly and neutral right now. Okay, the oscillators are neutral. The summaries is sell right now. We only have 1 buy. If you go starting zooming in though, basically everything right now is signaling sell right now on TradingView. That's why I like to do different things other than how the sheeple they sometimes miss these macro levels. Okay, but as long as it doesn't break back in here again. Okay, so we're waiting for a confirmation. We want to get a bounce now. Okay, so we're not quite in the trade, but we're coming up to a trade right now. And at least for Litecoin, I'm going to put in a trade because if we hold this level, especially if we start getting above this like $89 and we start pushing $90 again, okay, that's kind of like the trade. Like that's when you start entering in. This is not financial advice on this channel. This is how I just do things. I like to go through it with you guys just to kind of show you my brain. The things that I'm trading. So Litecoin, I'm keeping an eye on this right now. We just had an X right now on the Lux algo, kind of signaling a temporary bottom, you guys, as you can kind of see. Sometimes the X's don't mean things a lot, but sometimes they do. You can't take any one indicator as like, this is the thing, right? It's got to be this combination. So I just kind of wanted to show that to you guys. Let's look at Bitcoin one more time. I did want to go into further technicals. Let's look at more technicals from the TradingView. On the daily, we have 11 sell, 10 neutral, 5 buy. On moving averages, we have 10 sell, 1 neutral, 4 buy. And the oscillators are really neutral right now, 1 sell, 9 neutral, and 1 buy. So I would say, this is kind of like we're leaning towards the sell / neutral side if you're gonna just like go off of trading views, all of synopsis right here. I started doing that. I did that at one point in my life, and then I started learning these macro patterns. This is zoomed in, you guys. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour right now. I wanted to show you guys this this ascending triangle that's forming. Okay, so we have this like ascending triangle, and then we have this like downward sloping trend line. Okay, and this confluence right now is there's like basically two patterns that this thing's in. Okay, it's probably multiple more than that, but that's just kind of, I'll zoom in. I'll go to the 2 hour because it's a little bit easier to see here. Okay, so you have this kind of ascending triangle. I'm gonna zoom actually go to the 30-minute. Okay, because that's a little bit. Okay, so look. Okay, so on the 30-minute, okay, we have this downward sloping line, and then we also have this like ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern. Okay, so what we're waiting for is a clean break of this descending this line. Okay, this larger downward sloping line, and then we also want to see a break of like 29.2 again. Okay, so this is like bumped its head. All these wicks are coming up here. Okay, basically, if this thing breaks out right here, comes up here, breaks this lower trend line, then comes up and bounces, that would be the best opportunity right there. Right there, you're probably going to go into a long at like, it'll break out, go up to like maybe 29.3, come back down, touch its head on 29.2 again. You're putting in your long, and now you're off to the races. Okay. So I think that we are still really bullish. I'm still bullish, even though despite a lot of the indicators are actually negative right now. With the banking collapse, I think, the only scenario that I could see is that maybe a pullback. If you go out to the daily, of this 200 EMA, we have tapped it a few times, or this longer term trend line, which is like around this, like, if we drop straight down right now, it's like 27.9. Okay. Or we could just go sideways and tap it again, like at 28.3. So, we could have this pullback, you guys, down to this level. Also, this 200 EMA is coming up around this like 27.7 level. Anything above 27.7, I am bullish on, you guys. I think we're still like looking great. I have mixed bags on what I think this thing is going to do in the short term. I still think we're looking for a move up, you guys. I think that last wick right there was it's like kind of its retest, and I think that we're going to go up. There could be this thing. That's why we're not entering the trade too soon. Okay, so I played some scalp trades, but our big trade is coming up, you guys. Wait for confirmation. As I said, I think time is going to determine what's going to happen right here. Okay, and I want you guys to not enter into, like, be disciplined with your money. Be smart out there. This video has gone on long enough. I hope you guys, wish you well. So happy to be in the space. Consider yourself lucky if you guys are here. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you guys have gotten this far, again, like, subscribe. Peace.